The finals has just been given a 2026 outlook and beyond. We'll go over all the details there, which does include the recent Nexon earnings call, as well as some additional context on what's been going on with some other branches of the game itself. On top of everything else, we'll go over some developer comments and social updates, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, World Utopia here, back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things the finals. Okay, so you heard that right, we do have an outlook for 2025, 2026, and beyond. And yes, this does mostly pertain to the Nexon Q2 earnings call. Now, just to give some pre-context there, in case some of you didn't know, the developer studio is Embark, but their parent company, and this is where all the investor talk does go through, is Nexon. And if you guys have been watching me for a while, we've been going over these quarterly earnings. This gave off release dates for their recent game, Arc Raiders, and even originally the finals when that was first launching. That kind of gave us a clue that it would be more than likely potentially shadow dropped in December, along with TGA. It also gave us a bunch of other insights. It's actually really good to look at these and to kind of see the future outlook of that, where yes, back again with it, we do have a Q2 earnings highlight. Now first off, they do go over the Q2 performance. They mentioned this time around that it actually exceeded Nexon's Q2 outlook. Season 7 was very well received, that it improved the live operation and studio coordination, and that it actually returned the game to a growth trajectory. With some of the previous earnings call, obviously we did see a bit of a drop. I believe that happened around Season 3, Season 4 era, but now they do mention it has returned to a growth trajectory, which yes, is very, very good for the game. They do mention that it's positioned alongside Nexon's other shooters, of course, because Arc Raiders is Embark, that one is there, and the First Descendant. I've covered that game before, that is under Nexon as well. They do mention the finals held on its own though, while others launched updates and even new seasons, so it did maintain the strong growth there. Now they do have a forward outlook here, what again the future plan is, how they're going to be maintaining the finals for the future. So they did mention here that there is a focus with live operation and cadence there, and they do mention there's an emphasis that will stay on events, content drops, and even retention loops. Those should sustain the momentum from Season 7. They also are looking forward to Q3 earnings. Overall revenue was down year over year for Nexon, but that was mostly due to tough competition. Again, that was overall for Nexon, not pertaining to the finals. Again, it was not because of the finals, which maintains a positive growth driver as of right now. Now for Season 8 Plus, they did mention there was no new roadmap or features discussed. The devs have been keeping those details under wraps for now. Sometimes these are outlined during the quarterly earnings. This time around though, they are keeping that under wraps, more than likely for the majors. Now you might have seen a ton of things going around about the China version of the client, or even a China release for the finals. Again, this was something that I talked about way back with the quarterly earnings, that their plan was for a 2027 release, or at least going up into that they had plans for that as well. Well, they do mention here that the ISBN license has been approved for the finals. What that is essentially is an international standard book number that is required for China games. Those are to be legally published there. Without this license, a game cannot be monetized or officially launched in the Chinese market, which is more than likely why they had to go through Tencent to get that license. The closed alpha did begin on August 8th, so if you have seen any footage going around about the Chinese client with some different skins, even it looks like some exclusive stuff there. They even have a gun game mode currently. Tencent is the co-publisher here, and they're working with Nexon on this and Embark. They did kick off a small-scale test to refine the China-adapted version. Of course, this is not the full launch yet. Further tests and approvals will come way before release, but that closed alpha did begin on August 8th. Again, that was an alpha, not even a beta just yet, so there's still plenty of time and refinement before we get the full release there. This actually does matter a ton because China is Nexon's #2 revenue market. On their Q2 mix, they actually make up 23%, so a PC launch there could be massive for the finals and scale heavily, which could be great for the future, as well as provide an additional revenue front. So all around, this is a very, very good thing. Now there was some stuff here about the investor and business signals. This stuff doesn't really pertain a ton to the finals, but it does give a very good outlook for the future. They are doing a share buyback program, which does show confidence in the company, and does signal that Nexon has a strong belief in their portfolio. Again, does include Embark's games. Won't get too much into the stock market stuff there, but yeah, buybacks are usually always good, at least pertaining to the company itself. Now, a little cool stat here from their revenue mix. There was was a 71% of PC and console mix there, with 29% making up the mobile platform, 60% was Korea, 23% was China, and the rest was split across NA and other regions. Which again does reinforce here why the China PC launch for the finals is such a major growth lever, as 23% of your revenue is quite substantial. Again, this was for Nexon as a whole, this doesn't pertain to the finals specifically. However, they are included in this metric when making up that stat. Now, there was some things here that weren't said in this developer earnings call. Again, I'm going to link down below 6 different files that you can go through and all the investor earnings. There's a ton there with presentation information if you want to check it for yourself, but it's a lot of the documentation, their PowerPoint readings. But again, sources for everything will be provided down below in the description. But here is what they didn't really say. Currently, there is no China launch date given, so we don't know when that's going to come out. Again, to hit on my last video, no Switch or console ports have been mentioned, so we don't know if it's coming to Xbox One, and right now, not Switch 2 as of yet. Although Rob did kind of hint at that, and so did some developers, but it did seem to just be mostly poking fun. As I mentioned earlier, no Season 8 roadmap or features have been teased, and they didn't give a player DUA or MUA metric that was disclosed. We saw this one a long time ago that they had 300,000 daily active users. We don't know if that's the case anymore though, and this number hasn't been mentioned for over a year now, so we're not for sure on their current daily active users. And just to recap everything we learned from these files and this Nexon earnings call, Season 7 did bring back growth. The China ISBN has been approved, which is great to hear, and they had their first closed alpha test. The momentum will depend on live operations, and Season 8 details are still secret. The buybacks do show investor confidence in Embark and the Nexon slate, where the China launch will still have the big unlock, but we don't know the timing for that release. So an actually very good and incredible outlook for the finals and Embark's future. These are all very, very good signs. That does cover it for the Nexon earnings call and the future outlook of the finals. We do have here some social updates and even an update hotfix. The first one is they do have a special stream coming out tomorrow. This one is at 10 a.m. where Oscar and Caroline will be leading 2 teams of creators in a clash across multiple game modes in the first ever creator clash. I actually did have a chance to apply for this one, but unfortunately I didn't. The reason currently is my internet has just been absolutely terrible lately. Unfortunately, no matter how much money I throw at it, I can't really upgrade. I'm still working on things in the background to get that changed, which will happen in the next coming months, but I've had to do a lot of pre-planning for that. There's a ton of adjustments that's going to happen over the next few months, but I will eventually live stream. Unfortunately, in my current circumstances, my internet just cannot handle a live stream. It's just too rough of quality right now, and I just don't want to present anything that I wouldn't think would be up to par to my standards. But yeah, I did have a chance to apply for this. I really wish I could have. Part of me regrets that I didn't, but I also know that my internet just is too rough right now for the bit rate and just being able to handle good quality. But I will tune into this one, so good luck to all the creators that are in the showdown. As I also mentioned, and moving on here, we did have a hotfix. There was some shutdown performance issues, some kick fixes on the Steam Deck, and some optimizations on the memory that should reduce some instances of stutter during gameplay. Actually occasionally got a stutter or two. I wonder if they're still honing that in. They haven't been too bad, but I'm not really used to that. I'm not sure if it's me updating to the new 581 drivers, although those do have the smooth motion now. If you haven't seen, you probably should update your drivers. Although the finals, it does have built-in frame generation, so you don't really need to use smooth motion with this game. They also did finally fix that toggle sprint and toggle crouch, and some UI issues that caused the wrong World Tour stop to be displayed. So a small hotfix there, nothing too crazy. Of course, with all my videos, we do have a showcase from my community. First one here is I'm going to be doing some more giveaways on my giveaway channel. If you do want to check those out, those will be there around the time when this video is posted. Might be a slight delay there so that I can get this one out earlier to you guys than later. But we also do have those showcases from my Star Models page, where this first one here is from Strimus. Teddy doesn't know what to call this one, but it looks pretty cool. Looks like some sort of Spec Ops character or even futuristic one. Actually very nice little military outfit that isn't Alpha Octa, so a pretty cool one there. Next up here we have one from Roxanne, who made this Shy Guy from Mario. This one is actually really good and well done. They even made the shoes work. Yeah, I really like this one overall. Actually, funnily enough, recently I won a Shy Guy plushie at a little carnival event thing, so definitely hits close to home and pretty cool. Next up here we have one from Husky, who shows off a Mortal Kombat 11 Cabal attempt. And man, lately you guys have been really good at making this chess piece utilized for different cosplays. And yeah, I actually do think it works really well with this one too. Definitely got it as best as you could for right now. Fourth up here we have one from me. And no, not me, but somebody named me on Discord, where they said my attempt at an Arc Raider. And yeah, this actually does look like the headliner Arc Raider skin, or at least one of the few they've shown off so far. Very, very cool one there. Last but not least, here we have one from Legendile, who yes is one of my moderators and has a really cool skin here, utilizing a lot of the cosmetics from the recent Battle Pass, as well as my favorite helmet, and even rocking the gloves from that bundle as well. And of course, the pet does add a nice cherry on top. Really liking the color combo on this one. Overall, it should about cover for today's video. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and until the next one. Deuces.